Hey Legionnaires, and welcome back with some more NTW 3 for you today, and this is a glorious battle between 8 elite players. I was sent this by a member of the NTW 3 Discord. I was recommended to come and check this one out, and yeah, it is a epic one to be sure. We have Poland along with 3 French armies, 2 of which are the Italian campaign and 1 is the Orient army. And we have today facing them 2 Russian armies. We have 1805 Russia against, and we also have the Guard Russians, along with Prussia, 1815, and Sweden is here again today. We've seen Sweden a lot in recent videos, and they are fighting alongside their allies once more. And you can see we have a huge cavalry standoff going on right now with Poland and France standing off against mainly Russian and Prussian cavalry here. And we've got some Swedish out here on the flank as well. But yes, if you're enjoying seeing NTW3 at the moment on the channel, would like to see some more Napoleonic action, some more massive line battles, some more epic cavalry charges, then do leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment to show your support. And as always, guys, thank you for all the support recently. Keep it up. And yeah, let's get on with this battle, I guess is the best thing to say. So yeah, the Poles and the French are a long way off. You can see their infantry is a long way back. They've already captured this village back here with some Polish infantry, and yeah, they're kind of like a little bit stretched out, I'd say, to start off with. You can see that they're not wanting to be aggressive with their cavalry because they know that their infantry is a long way off and cannot support this attack. They're merely wanting to fight over this village. I feel like this village here is going to be where most of the action takes place. As you can see, the Russian infantry is already arriving, was much closer than the French to the front line. And we can already see that there is some fighting already going on. I think some cavalry, yes, just some cavalry under fire from artillery. Looks like we got some guns here. Got some guns here as well. We've got some horse artillery here from the French, one of the Italian armies, focusing down some Russian infantry and cavalry, I presume. This is the Guard Russians. I definitely want to be focusing these guys down. Nicely blobbed up as well, as you can see. Definitely worth a hit. It looks like they're going after the cuirasses here, which is also not a bad target we're going for. Looks like the Swedes are going to take this right flank here, looking like where the cavalry's setting up. This is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cavalry units here for the Swedes. So I would be very much surprised if they were not going to set up here. The Prussians look like they're going to set up on the left flank. I've seen a lot of like Prussian cavalry movements over here, and it looks like the Russians will take the center against the French. It looks like the Poles are going to be taking this right flank against Prussia, and well, the French everywhere else, because that's all we have like otherwise. I think the first French army to appear will be like the Italian army, one of the Italian armies. Then it'll be the Orient and the other Italian army arriving. So, I mean, I'll probably just refer to them as the French. I may at some point refer to them as the Orient or the Italians. But we'll probably just call them the French from various different campaigns. You can see they're firing off again, focusing on this Dragoon unit of the Swedish. Trying to get some early kills in. Looks like the artillery for the Allies, I mean, I've not seen any. I presume it is firing because I've seen a few dead like Poles and stuff like that, but it's clearly not within view. I mean, we are looking from the French perspective, so they can't see everything. They can only just see like a little bit from the fog wall, and you can see that the Polish infantry, which has arrived, we've got like grenadiers and stuff like here. They are falling back. You can see this light infantry here from the Russians is going to take the town, though they are at risk because obviously the French could just flank around here with cavalry or whatever else. They could do some damage. So yeah, I mean, not really first blood, but like advantage to the Allies, you could say, because they've taken this town. And I feel like this could be quite a key area to fight over. French are pushing back the Swedes, so their cavalry was here, and now they're actually giving ground. They're going a long way back. You see the Russians are sending some cavalry over to support. Prussia on this side. Haven't seen any of his infantry. Just cavalry at the moment. Can hear it somewhere back here. At least I think I can. Lots of Landwehr Uhlans. Maybe he's not brought any infantry. Maybe it's just a whole cavalry army. Wouldn't surprise me. It's being shot at here. Just more Swedes, okay. So yeah, we'll fast forward just quickly because it seems like nothing's going on right now. They're just weighing each other's options up, seeing who's going to be the easiest to go after. It looks like the French really want to put a lot of pressure on this Swedish player here, though. As you can see, a lot of cavalry pushing this way. And they're just kind of ignoring. They're going to fall back and just let the Russians be aggressive here. Maybe stretch out, get a bit isolated. Who knows? You can see the Guard like are really pushing up now. They're really taking this center. I don't know how big their army is. Obviously, the Guard armies are typically a lot smaller than the main like armies, like that Russia could field. So whether that's a good idea to take the center, I don't know. I guess maybe it is because they can be supported by another player. Better than taking a flank where they could get overstretched. Poland's bringing over cavalry, and he's like all the way on the right flank. I guess Poland's probably brought primarily cavalry though, so he's like his infantry's not great, though I quite like it, just because of the style. Like it's down here just chilling. These aren't actually, I mean, some of these are militia, but some of these are proper like line infantry. Some are grenadiers. Some grenadiers here. But yeah, obviously not a lot of cavalry. It looks like I can see charges going off now. It looks like they're, yeah, running. Looks like we're going to see a charge here. This is Pontiniowski's Hussar unit. This is a general unit. Well, it typically is general unit. I see it used as a general. He actually charged with that, which is a bold play. I don't know if he was going to try anything there. Yeah, it looks like we're going to see a line battle in a moment between the Guard Russian army and one of the French-Italian armies. Not surprised by that. I mean, they were going to be first to arrive, and I bet that they really want to push back against this village, take it for themselves. But another thing I'll just add while we're waiting for like the battle to start, if you want to get involved in some NTW3 battles, if you're struggling to find games, then feel free to join my Discord. There's a lot of NTW3 players joining recently, and I'm starting to do a few more scenarios for the game. And I'd love to have more players there to obviously organise stuff. I've got some great plans for scenarios and stuff like that. There's some great historical battles that can be recreated. So yeah, if you want to join the Discord, the link is down below in the description. And I don't know why this thing is up this gun so close. I don't know if they're positioning around it or what, but it's getting shot at. I don't know if the gun is actually being shot at, but you can see the infantry is now under fire. Got some Guard line infantry over there. If these line infantry can shoot at this gun though, that's a worrying sign. Hopefully they might push forward, you never know. Yeah, the first gunfight is underway. Nope, they're gonna fall back. After all that anticipation, you're just gonna fall back. One volley, that's it.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
This building's have fallen to the enemy. I presume this is just, well, I have no idea what that unit is. That could be anything. I'm gonna presume that's just like a, well, it's a good unit, it's a Guard unit, but like that. Who knows what's in there? Look at this Cuirassier unit though. We're waiting to see what this one's going to do. 132 men. Seems both sides don't want to be like risk losing a unit first. Like they don't want to like make the first assault and it go badly wrong, because then they're obviously at a disadvantage as the game goes on. You've got a lot of guards just hiding behind these buildings. Love to see that happening. See who's firing artillery? They're shooting their own cavalry, I'm pretty sure. That's definitely, yeah, friendly fire there, killed a few of their own cavalrymen. You need to be careful of that. Nice position though with their cavalry. I mean, I guess they're at risk because obviously they could just shoot the guns and hit the cavalry or something like that, but yeah, obviously very good. Like if the cavalry charges gun position, there's cavalry literally waiting behind. I think they are, yeah, putting holes into that Cuirassier unit. Very good target. I mean, it's 132 men, you can't miss it. But yeah, it seems that they are really just waiting, so I'm just going to fast forward again. Really waiting for like the first move to happen, and I'm kind of surprised it's not already happened. These players, I thought, like being regulars, would be like, "Yep, let's go in, let's make the first moves." I thought, but maybe because they know that like both sides got really good players, maybe they think take it a little bit slower. You know, you don't want to make any foolish mistakes that will cost us the game. What we got down here? We've got more Guard units, and just like all the Guard units have different names, and I presume that's where they're like from. Maybe I don't know. Jägerski, I know, is like light infantry. It's like Jaeger. But yeah, all the Guard, I mean the Guard I think are a bit outnumbered in this center. I feel like the Prussians are going to have to bring stuff across, and they are now. That's good to see. I don't know where the other Russian army is. I've not actually seen any of their mainline infantry. Can't see anything they've got now. Oh no, they've got some dragoons over there. But yeah, not actually seen any fighting yet, as of yet. Prussia looks like as well, he's just given up the interest in that left flank. He's now just going to come to the center. France moving more stuff left, perhaps, and then this Italian army coming to the center. Perhaps. Interesting. It's certainly interesting watching this troop movement happen, I won't lie. But I'm just going to keep fast forwarding. As the guns keep firing, that's all they're doing. I think they're just firing on any cavalry available. Why haven't the Allies got any guns up and started firing onto these French? Like, don't let them just stand around. I mean, they were earlier. But I would certainly start punishing them again. Just make them like be forced to bring their infantry forward, otherwise, or just get like shot here. I don't know. I mean, there's a 204-man unit here. I shoot this unit. There's another one here. Building captured. Where's that? All the way. Oh my gosh. Wow. All the way back here. Okay. Just some Chilliers going back there. Okay, that's no surprise then. Just send a little tiny little unit back. Go and take it. Obviously, if you're new to NTW3, you can capture buildings. And these point value on here, they are all worth a different amount of point value. And this can, in the end, come down to like what it's, how you win a battle. Whether you have like more buildings. Obviously, or you don't even have to have more buildings, just have like the most points from your buildings. So obviously, like this center village, as I was talking about, will be heavily fought over. Is actually a 2-pointer, and then there are 4 1-pointers around the map. So you could draw, and then this 2-pointer be the decider, or you could just take the 2-pointer, and you have the advantage. So yeah, this village over here, this village here is going to be fought over quite extensively, I can imagine. And you can see the French really are setting up a lot of forces here. So I'm expecting a bloodbath over this village. I expect no less. Come on. I'm just waiting for this first bit of combat to happen. I saw them get so close to each other. I was like, right, I'll start recording. They look like they're about to collide. And then no, they decided to turn around and fall back. I've got some Carabiniers here. This is a good unit as well. It must be for Sweden. It's a big size unit. I don't know. It might be. Carabiniers typically are elite cavalry in most militaries, but I don't know. Sweden's like armies like got some interesting morale, put it like that, or their units. Like I've seen recently, Sweden get brutalized in past games. I feel like they're just waiting for their allies to appear. Like Sweden must have been a long way back with his infantry, as must be like 1805, like Russia. He must be a long way back with his infantry because they are not really like assaulting. Poland's actually got cavalry in behind here. I think this might be the first engagement we're about to see here. Poland's actually got some Uhlans in behind. And yeah, he's getting chased down by some light cavalry and some light dragoons. I think he's going to get attacked here. And this is a 2v1, so I don't think Poland will win this. Even though his cavalry is really good. Yeah, he's like looped the whole way around. You can see like the whole way around Poland. By Sweden, sorry. And here we go. First collision. And it's some cavalry. And they broke instantly. Yeah, no surprise there. I feel like it was just a cheap cavalry unit that they were just sending around the back to see where everything was. But yeah, there you go. First blood has been drawn, and the Allies have won it. The Allies have indeed won that first bit of the fighting. It's actually what we've got here. We've got some Russian like light stuff in behind as well. Looks like they're gonna have the same thing happen to this Russian unit as happened to the Poles on the opposite side of the map. You can see a 2v1 between some Uhlans and some light cavalry. I guess they just traded, like, just wanting to use this for intelligence, see where everyone's got their units, because obviously, like, we can see all of France, but the Allies can't see all of the French units. Well, they might be able to see a fair majority. I'm not really hovered over everything to see what's hidden, what's not. These guys are running, and these are light cav. They'll get out of there probably, even if these guys I don't know. These guys are fairly light, I would have imagined, as the Lancers, but I don't think they'll catch these Kazakhs. And there you go, first blood has been drawn. The Poles are ready for revenge. We've got another gun up here. Was this the same gun? I think this is a different one. Might be the same one. I'm not sure. I think it is a different one, actually. It's put in holes, I can say that much, into the Cuirassier back here. They should just get this Cuirassier back. It's lost, like, 15 men already. It's a big target. And it's an expensive target as well. You'd be wanting to hit this unit. Along with all the guards here, you want to take these guys out. The guards are very much going to hold this village, and that's about it would seem. So I'm going to carry on just fast forwarding. I'm waiting for the first like line battle, really. I mean, even in like a major cavalry battle would be nice. As you can see, the only action is really the Russians getting chased down in the back lines. And it looks like it's going to come to the French to make the first push. They're going to have to be aggressive. And they're going on going to attack the Swedes here. And I don't think it'll be long now. It'll be mere seconds, I imagine, until we're going to see a land battle ensue. I think the Swedes are going to be the ones that first volley. Maybe. The French still coming forward ever so slowly. They must be in range soon. Are they holding fire? I don't know. I would have thought this would have been the edge of their range. The artillery is like point blank range though. They could just send some cavalry up, go and sneak in, get it maybe. Like some light cavalry. It's a shame they don't have any available nearby. Here we go, the first line battle underway. Sweden opens the battle and then runs away, for God's sake. He's just going to be annoying. And there we go. Russian infantry is starting to appear. As you can see, 1805 Russia is finally appearing on the battlefield with his musketeers. And his artillery's here as well. There you go. Looks like Sweden's just going to harass France like this. I'm really waiting for the first bit of combat. I do apologize, guys. It's not usual that NTW3 battles start off a bit quieter than usual. You usually see action like almost within the first few moments. Like I said, we're waiting. There's another little line battle going on over here. Got some infantry here opening fire. What are they firing at? Some line infantry. Three French versus one Swedish. I don't rate their chances. Don't know how many they've killed, really. They've killed one or two. Let's see, they're going to retreat just as the French form up. They may get a volley in the return. I don't know. No, they didn't. The French decided to carry on pushing. They're going to be aggressive. And you can see Russia is starting to appear with more troops. And here we go. Sweden's going to go in for a cavalry charge. It's light dragoons going in. No, again, changed his mind. He sees the squares being formed. Retreats. Wow, both sides are being really, really cautious. Really cautious. Like I said, literally neither wants to make that first move. Lose that, like, first few units. And, like, France has really pushed up here, but then the rest of his army is, like, falling back. I mean, it's not falling back, it's kind of shifting left. France needs to be careful they don't overstretch themselves a little bit, because they've got a lot of forces on this right just to contain one Prussian army. Got a big unit here, 339 men. It's an Orient unit. Let's have a look at it.
Our men are running, sir.
Men running, though. Oh, cavalry fighting is ensuing. I do apologize. So, yeah, the French actually sent in some chasseurs cheval, and they, well, yeah, they went after the guns, and I think they got out of there. The gun crew's very much alive. But, yeah, obviously, Nancy is kind of stuck here. But that's fine. I feel like this is a decent area to be stuck. There's a lot of fighting that's going to be going on around here. So, there you go. The French and the Poles have lost 2 units. So they are the first to lose units. I guess the French getting a little frustrated at seeing the Swedes just retreat when given the option. But there is a line fighting underway now. And now the French are retreating. They're going to put a volley into these guys. And now they're retreating. I think they're worried about the Russians. But again, lots of just artillery dueling right now. We've seen a considerable amount of time pass by. Let's fast forward again. See whether we can see any big engagements. I mean, here we go, actually. The Prussians and the Poles going in for a cavalry fight here. We're going to see a fight right on the edge of the battlefield here. I don't know who will win this. There's some Uhlans going against some dragoons. And the both sides broke. There you go. And now we're going to see, well, this unit here, this Landwehr, is probably going to break on impact going in here. This is like a general unit. Pontiniowski's here. Or it can be, anyway. Don't know if it is in this instance. They're being quite aggressive with it. But yeah, red line obviously means that a lot of units could just run off straight off the battlefield and never return. And it looks like the Prussians are being forced back by the Polish cavalry, which I'm not surprised. I think I would have thought that the Polish cavalry would be better. You got some reserve musketeers. They're going to form square, and they're going to scare off any further Polish pushes there. Nothing really in the set. Like I said, the Russians and the Swedes kind of being, well, very passive at the moment.
Sir,
most action going on with the Poles, it would seem. Who's being shot at? Oh, one of the generals, one of the Italian Dessau is being shot at. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. And they're falling back now. You can see they got their guns up again, retreating. Then the chasseurs cheval being fired upon, and they are basically point blank to this Swedish artillery piece here, which is like just pounding away at them. And the French really shifting left. Like, they're going to fight 1805, but then that's leaving Sweden just on its own. Sweden could just push through this gap here. Sweden, I don't know if Sweden knows what's here, but they could just push through. I think divide this French army away from the main army. If we get support from the Russians, they could certainly, do that. I mean, it's a risk, but it might work. It might just work. It's mad enough that it might. I'll just fast forward a little bit more. The French look like they're still moving up. I mean, it's just so bizarre. What, I don't know why they could have just pushed on Sweden. I feel like Sweden's the weak link out of the four armies, possibly.
Victory, sir, is soon to be yours.
Apparently, glorious victory soon to be yours. We've barely seen any combat happen, so I feel like that's a no. So here, this poor Hussar unit just being fired upon. Looks like the French are going to move, like, yeah, look at this, moving very aggressively on this right-hand side now. They're going to push back the Prussians. Prussians just not wanting to have anything to do with it there. French still moving around. Look at all this cavalry waiting for them. There's a lot on this side as well. Of an artillery volley here. Fire! I'd say for the Emperor, but he's not quite Emperor in this period. 1800, sorry. They're just putting holes into these line infantry over here of Sweden. I mean, they deserve it. Look at their disgusting uniforms. Who picks brown as a uniform? Brown, sir. Pick a glorious color, like your blue. Oh, there you go. Another volley in there. These guys are getting just butchered. And yeah, Russia's just moving across. He's going to just basically counter this French move here. This Krasi unit's lost nearly 30 men, and it's not even seen combat yet. Who is going to make the first move? Let me know in the comments who you think is going to make the first move. Will it be the French? Will it be the Russians and their allies? I don't know. Honestly, I think the French, looking at like this is an aggressive move. It's going to eventually, like, the cavalry could just swing in here if it wanted to. I think that's what they're asking for. Like, this line infantry here is just asking for like a counterattack. I mean, they're forcing back the Polish cav a little bit, but oh, they should not retreat. They are at risk of like getting flanked here. Here we go. This is going to be an attack. The Swedes pushing forward. What is this movement here by the French? Yeah, look at this. It's now going to get in behind. It's just going to be able to flank any unit it wants to. What a bizarre move. I mean, the French are going to try and counter it. I think this cavalry battalion. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Look at the French just pouring fire into this poor unit. And there you go. Another little bit of cavalry combat. Nothing like major. That's all they're willing to throw away at the moment. It's just small cavalry units. That Swedish one's now gone. The French just push. Like, all the cavalry now is in behind. It's in behind enemy lines. Like, in their own lines. Just push with the infantry, like this, like 5 or 6 units here. They could push on this Russian line. They do just fine. Oh, we have cavalry fighting over on, well, yeah, over here. We have the Poles now fighting against this lifeguard Krasi unit. I don't think these lifeguards are going to lose this one. Just fighting Uhlans. I presume that, like, Lancers need a good charge. Kazakhs going to go in here, possibly. They're going to pin down these Uhlans. It's a big Uhlan unit, so 121 men. I mean, they've routed a fair amount over here. I feel like the Russians are going to win this cavalry fight. And there you go. The action is underway. As soon as you think it's like not going to start, it just all of a sudden just explodes. And here we go. French cavalry now coming in, coming to deal with these Swedes. And they're, yeah, I mean, they got some good cavalry in here. Dragoons are there going in. Swedish versus French Dragoons. Who wins? I'm going to say the French. Swedish Carabiniers about to go in now. They're going after the Cavalry Battalier. This is a good unit for the French. Generally, I think the coalition forces are winning most of these cavalry fights. I mean, they've won that one over there with the French, but I mean, they're getting infantry up now to support. They form square, probably fire into these squares. Yeah, look at this.
We have killed their general, sir.
And there you go, a general dead. I do apologize. I don't know why we're exactly getting lag all of a sudden now. I don't know if it's just because someone's died or something. A general's died. Who's general? Doblin. I said the Swedish general is dead. Oh, he's got assassinated by the Chabal. Jeez, I've just butchered that name as well. There you go, Chasseur Chabal. And the line infantry is now pushing forward. Like I said, they should just ignore the cavalry fight. Push onto this, what it looks like a weak Russian flank, exploited by the Swedes. Definitely someone that I would be wanting to push. Also, the center here now looking like it's holding up. We've got French cavalry now getting in behind the guard line. Got some chasseurs cheval here. They're able to get in behind. They could just go after anything they want now. Go after guns, whatever. And it looks like the cavalry fight, I mean, certainly the Swedish cavalry is getting routed because of that recent general loss. Only the Russians survived with their cuirassiers here. And what we got? We got some dragoon. Oh no, they're lifeguard cuirassiers as well. But the line battle is underway as well. Now the French are finally engaging. They're actually falling back now. It doesn't seem like either side wants to have a prolonged melee fight. And the French have actually routed some... what have they routed over here? It's not like a general, just another cavalry unit though with some chasseurs. Yeah. Nothing going on this side really. It's all going off on this side here. And it looks like...
Our men are running, sir.
Not really sure. Looks like... I mean, we've got Alexander here. The Tsar's here. I'd say it's a fairly even fight. I feel like the Russians and the French both killed a fair amount of cavalry. I mean, the Russians I feel like are coming out on top with their cuirassier units because the French have just nothing to answer to that. They've not got like that period of French like units yet. Artillery firing off here though. You need to be careful. There's a general right here that's been shot at. Dessous again has been fired upon. He's very close to like the cavalry front line. We've already got the chasseurs breaking, carabiniers in behind lines. They could go after the Poles, whatever. I feel like it's certainly the time now for the French to be aggressive on this side, push back the Prussians. They need to do something. The left flank for the French, you can see on the map, looking pretty dicey. French here are in blue, and the Allied forces are in red. You can see that this area here, this group of French infantry, in a real bit of trouble. They have kind of got themselves a bit cut off. But there's a nice long line of French infantry here that should be getting ready to engage the Guard and the Prussians. But look at that! Look how many units have been dedicated to force this flank now. They need to get moving as well, not just for like urgency of the battle, but also like recording. I have like seen no fighting going on here. And here we go, what have we got coming out of the woodwork comes some hussars. Going to deal with some chasseurs cheval that routed and then returned. And they broke just as quickly as they returned, really. Over here, again, the French player here just looks like he's lost what to do exactly. He's getting surrounded, actually. This French player has been drawn in and is getting surrounded slowly. And what we've got here, we've got some Uhlans. Yeah, these French units, I mean, they're trying to retreat, but they are actually sort of surrounded. Certainly in a bit of a crescent formation, and look at this. The Swedes really pushing forward now, pushing forward, as are the French. And then the Swedes retreat. They get a volley in the back, though. The Swedes playing this very nice, playing like a bit of cat and mouse with the French. And I think we're going to see a, like this dragoon unit go after the artillery here. I'd certainly take this out, yep. They're running for their lives, but the Swedes, they'll catch them. And that cavalry's just going to destroy that. French cavalry battalion. So they're getting in there. They might save that. No, that gun's gone. That's a shame. Yeah, the French player over here is certainly having a bit of a rough time. He's sort of forced back the Russians a bit. But it's certainly looking a little dicey. What's this broken here? His artillery, yeah. Just need to get rid of these cuirassiers, and I think he's kind of back in the game. I feel like he could win this infantry fight against the Swedes if played rightly. Poles here went in for another charge with the cavalry. I feel, and probably after the artillery here, got routed. Looks like we're the same over here. Some cavalry went in. Well, that might be the chasseurs cheval I fought earlier. Looks like the French, yeah, just kind of not really sure what to do. They keep moving their men left and right, instead of like actually attacking, going forward. They're not exhausting the men necessarily. They're probably walking them, yeah, eager, fresh. These men are not exhausted, but like it's instead of getting to like the point of actually fighting, they're just, well, walking left and right. And at the moment, the Allies having to cover so much less ground. shifting like 1 or 2 units here and there. They also have like the road on their side just runs like across their entire line. And roads in NTW3, if you didn't know, mean you move quicker. So like these units are just like moving across the line so much quicker than the French can. They can just put out any fires just before they arise. The line infantry are trying to scare off these dragoons and this grassy unit. They haven't got enough cavalry over this side now to deal with all of it. I mean, they have got some. They seem a bit wary to send it forward to risk it. I mean, these crashes here are nasty, but they need killing, put it like that. I also think the French as well should just make a push for the center. Like, if you make a concentrated attack, you could attack this flank here. You could also push up this road. See whether the guard could deal with it. Because I don't think there's honestly anything here in this gap. I think the Allies are stretched too short there. The French as well, they're really stretching out. Trying to just like stretch the Prussians to like breaking limit. Look how far they're going. The Prussians are kind of matching them. Like, yeah, you want to go wide? We'll go wide as well. Also, Prussian infantry is just not great. They could beat it so easy with the French. This is all like reserve musketeers. Reserve musketeers. Yeah, nothing like amazing. It's just a lot of rubbish. Arguably, I mean, there are some good stuff in here, but not like a lot more reserve musketeers. I can't imagine these reserve musketeers can stop the French like armies. Could be wrong, but I'm gonna believe they can't. Russian guard open fire here again, falling back. Really interested to see why they keep falling back. I mean, I'd like to know in the comments like what the plan was as the Allies. They just like harass a little bit, then draw the French in. I mean, it's kind of working on this flank, as you can see. They're drawing them in, but I don't know if like how well it's working. The French going in here though with some hussars going after the light infantry. Didn't really do any damage. These units are still very much happy with morale. Actually getting shot by a lot of other infantry than their own. Got some lifeguard Jaegers here. Where is the French? It's still in there, the French cab. Doing a bit of damage, nothing major though. Again, the French, look at this, the French are taking advantage of the road and they're going to obviously be aggressive with it and they're going to go in. Maybe they're going to bayonet charge. They've broken this unit here though, half the French. What's going on the far side? We actually do have a line battle now. Finally, we have a line battle. Glorious, and no one's really falling back. Everyone's holding their own line. That's what we want to see. Napoleon looks like he's going to go in for another charge, maybe with the Prussian cav here. He's going to just certainly go through this gap in the line. He's going to get fired upon by squares as he comes by. Looks like Prussia's not realised that he's going to get, like, attacked then. That was the weakest charge I've seen by Poland ever. And here we go. Prussia's now going to counter-charge. And he'll probably rout this cavalry. Look at that, yeah. Routs it really quickly. Wow, that was very effective by there. And the Poles have just... They've not had a great one, put it like that, with this infantry, with this cavalry, sorry. Certainly kind of thrown it away. A superiority in it. What we've got in here, we've got Grenadiers getting broken by some lifeguard here. The Sweden's now taking up though. See a lot of like the Polish infantry's gone into this building, trying to take it and run out the other side, fleeing. The French over here now really, I mean, they're pushing back the Russian infantry little by little. See a lot of wavering units or routing units. Yeah, they force these guys back. What is in there? There's actually a lifeguard unit in here. Very much surrounded, this unit, by French infantry. It's actually going to get charged. Wow, they'd be better just shooting it. Like, look, this is just a crescent around it. This poor Russian unit. Here we go, the charge comes in. Oh no, they changed their mind. Oh no, they didn't. It just looks like they stopped. Okay, there's Russians in there in the forest. There's more Russians over here. More Jaegers. The Russian guards seem to have assets everywhere. French over here losing, actually, to the Russian guard. I feel like they could do with taking down some generals, like the French. I feel like they're in a little sticky position with what to do. Like this area over here, they just have no idea what they're doing. They don't know if they're going to attack a building, whether they're going to like just attack the areas around the building. They're going to attack all the way over here. Like they tend to pull like a half-hearted assault up this hill with some Polish cavalry. What have we got in here? French running. I mean, the guard has broken, but at what cost? One of the guard units anyway broke. Like I said, I think it'd be better just dueling it out with the Russians. They'd win the fight. The Russians benefit from a melee battle. The French don't. And now it's the time of the French to fall back. Not many bodies. I think they could have. I feel like they should have held them here because they can just push through this through this flank here. Like if they just hold the line, they can just send a unit left, send a unit right, flank both these positions that the Russians and the Swedes are putting up. And Sweden has like seen in previous battles, its infantry is not good enough to win in like a prolonged musket battle, line battle. Why was I saying musket battle? I do not know. But as you can see, the French on this side look like they're falling back again. They're gonna fall back to this tree line. I don't think they need to be aggressive on this side. I feel like they could, if they push up this road here, kind of just avoid this building. They'd be perfectly fine. Like, just go past the building. Make it a redundant building. That'll certainly throw off the allies. And we've got some cavalry over here. Carabiniers breaking. Cheval breaking. Oh, a general in here, actually. Dessous in here. And we've got French infantry charging in on the Swedish infantry. See, this is a fight I feel like they can win. Like, Swedish infantry is not good enough to win this fight. It's also breaking here because of line battles. You can see the Swedish, like, flank is certainly, like I said, where they can get in. And they're into the guns again. Here we go. The French are arriving. Hussars in. It's a rough start for the French, but they're certainly turning it around a little bit. Are they just going to go into the next units? I certainly would. Maybe let the units just like, yeah. Or let these guys, yeah. They're going to charge them, and they're counter-charging. When a unit forms square, they should just like fire upon it. That'd be a lot better. And then charge it possibly. The chasseurs broke, that's fine. And these infantry rallied and broke again. The French have got cavalry in behind here as well. We've got some dragoons, we've got some hussars. Swedes have a lot of infantry back here actually, which for some reason hasn't been mobilized. Like they need to get these guys moving. Oh, actually, they are, but in the wrong direction. They're retreating. And so is 1805 Russia. They realize that like their center is starting to crumble. Their right flank is now having to turn into an L shape almost. It looked like for a moment that this was Baden, but it's just the white's missing. But we've got some guards here as well. The guard Russians still here. They need to get moving. The French are about to overtake them, or they're going to form a square and just fight in there. They are in the forest. That's the only issue. They're in the forest, and these guys are running on the road. What's this? We've got the Cuirassiers as well. These guys must be mobilized. They could save this flank. They could charge some of these French. Let's look at this French in tiny little line formations. What are they doing? What are they doing? The Prussians on this side, though, they're still fighting fiercely against the French. Say the French are certainly a bit on the run over here. But then again, I've said that about everyone, and then they turned it around. Look at this big old unit as well of the Orient Army. Where do you send this guy? 339 men. Now, is this a good unit? Or is it a bad unit? That's the real question. Look at that. Rank upon rank of Frenchies. I say send it against this building, which actually isn't occupied, but I don't know if that's just because they can't see what's in it. I'm not really sure. But I still think, send a strong column up this road. Oh, there is stuff in there for sure. I can see gunshots. I think send a strong column up this road. and see whether you can just smash your way through. Like the Russian defense here is light, surprisingly. If you send cavalry and if you send infantry, you push up. You could even just flank around it a little bit. But as you can see, this Swedish and Russian force on this side is very much on the run.
Our men are running, sir.
They're about to open fire here. They're just firing the infantry that's just marching towards them in a nice, slow, orderly fashion. Hit them in the rear. That was a pretty brutal volley for morale sakes. So this French army over here, well, this is still part of the same French army. This Russian army over here, though, is getting not isolated, but it's kind of lagging behind a little bit. Like these French units here have overtaken it, and they're at risk of losing, well, I'd say a good half a dozen Russian units, probably a few more than that, actually.
Our men are running.
And what's his... There you go, they got a volley off. I was going to say, what seems to be the story of the battle, like, both sides are running away. They're not standing their ground. The Russians are here, though. Stand your ground, men. You're men of the motherland. Should really be saying that from their perspective. You're men of the motherland. Hold the line. These are grenadiers. These guys could go in. I feel like send these grenadiers in, work your way down the French line. French are certainly not looking healthy on numbers. Looks like we're going to see a charge here. Here we go. 103 men against 124. The Russians get a volley off. They can get a point-blank volley off. Very nice. That'll really help with morale stakes. You can see, look at that morale already.
Our men are
Yeah,
running,
broke
sir.
just like that. That was really well timed by the Russians. Swedes really still under a lot of pressure there. I honestly think the French have got a bit of an issue here. Where do they go? Like this building, they need to take this building so much quicker. The 300-man units in combat now against 114. Does it win? Hard to say. I love that the Swedes have different shades of blue for their uniform. And then brown for some reason. And looks like the French are giving ground here. I feel like, yeah, they just need to retreat. They need to retreat back to this their main army. They're getting isolated. And the French cavalry is going in to support their infantry that is now being attacked. Oh no, this is French cavalry attacking, sorry. I do apologise. Swedish cavalry is supporting. They've got those dragoons going up against the cavalry battalion. And they've broken a couple of units. They've broken some infantry. Might break this cavalry. Yeah, they broke both. Well, that's a bit of a win there for the French. I mean, they are slowly working their way towards this Russian gun, the 6-pounder here. Just putting a lot of holes into these line infantry here. The French are really bunched up here, though. They are really, not happy. We've got camels here. We have camels. Camels in the desert, of course. In the snow. Camels in the snow. Well, I hope they can do something great. Regiment of Dromedaries. $339-man unit. I feel like they're just going to fight over this village for the rest of the battle. Apparently there's not much time left in the timer. So I'm expecting something huge to happen soon. The French are making pushes here nicely though. Another nice charge that's happened here. Broken a lot of the Swedish infantry. What have we got here? Some hussars in behind the enemy lines. I feel like the French, if they just keep pushing hard enough, they can eventually... I feel like they don't care about breaking everything. They don't want to deal with this Russian army if necessary. They're going to just try and get in behind, maybe go for this village, and then they can threaten the rear of this Prussian and Russian force. The Russians here, though, they've valiantly held this village for a really long time, with reasonably no fighting to have to do. To be fair, there is another French army over here in this, or pieces of a French army in this forest. Looks like the Poles as well have a lot of sappers, a lot of grenadiers. They're all ready just to defend this to the death. Probably would take all of
This
these
building
units to
has
take
fallen to the
themselves.
enemy.
And the enemy is starting to take, or not the enemy, the allies, sorry, are starting to take buildings. They've taken a couple here. So they need to be careful to the French, because they only have 2. They could do with taking this village for themselves. The French fall back again. Every time they fall back, though, they get one step further away from taking this building, which is housed with those lifeguards. It looks like we're going to see some sappers go in. Maybe. Send some sappers in. Send, like, a line infantry unit in. We've got some hope. 22 men, though, but do a bit of a miracle. I love the officer. Just look at this guy. Just on top with the drummer here. He's just like, yes! Yes! And the officers are firing off. Oh, and the sappers broke just like that. They're sending in. Oh, it's the big unit. 300-man unit. It looks like it's going to go in. Yeah, in it goes. 300 men sent in. Russians coming forward now. They're going to try and break these French forming square here. And it all is kicking off. A massive melee battle right at the end of what we got in here. We've got some musketeers of Prussia going in. It's an absolute mess in here. All sorts of uniforms going in. Looks like the Swedes are going to win that fight as well. Even though there's like over 300 men they have to fight. Who knows? Yeah, it's like 200 of them left now, the 300-man unit. Over here, the Russians... What happens to the French? Did they just fall back? I think they did. They're also all the way in here. Wow, the French are like in the building, or like in this village, very much so. It's more like a town, I guess. But they're in here. They are. I feel like they're trying to take it. They've got some cuirasses down here. Have the Russians and trying to rout this infantry that's attacking the Russian Strelki in there, and they've broken some cavalry battalion there. Haven't broken this infantry though. It's an absolute mess. I feel like the French won that a bit. They've routed a few guard units. Guard the road. What's that unit? Doesn't look like a guard unit, but like that. We've got the Landwehr here. Yeah, they're just making massive squares around this building. I don't know. It's hard to say. This guard unit down to 68 men. How many more are there to pile in though? Could be any amount. If they take this position, then they are technically winning. I believe there's 1, 2 versus 1, 2, and then this is another 4. And they've taken a building. What have they taken? They've taken the one in the town. So there you go. The French don't need to necessarily. Actually, no. That now makes it a draw. So to win, they need to still take that one. I feel like they're going to just go for a victory through buildings. They're not going to go and try and just annihilate everyone's armies. I don't think they have the time. How is this Russian unit inside the square? I don't know how that's happened. Goons now in there. They've routed that French unit. We've got more cavalry in here for the French now. What a mess. What a true mess. And while that's going on, it's like a whole fight going in here. Got more Russian infantry going in though. They're going to try and help turn the tide of the battle. I feel like that's where both armies are going to die just here. A line battle going on here. Prussia is forcing back the French on this side though. Fire, Frenchies! You must fire! They're actually falling back. Reserve musketeers. Having none of it. Having none of it. Let's have a volley. Or maybe not. No, apparently not. Okay, I like how there's a German legion that's part of but it looks like it's dressed like Russians. It's part of the Russian army. Very cool. That there's some huge units in here now. Yeah, it looks like both sides are just going to decide it around this building. The French hold the region, and we've got a general dead. Whose general just died? Honoré Vial, and he's got assassinated by a tiny unit of Russian infantry here. 46 men just got killed off a general. Got some chasseurs have been forced back. A general now died for the enemy, for the coalition forces. Who is that? Not entirely sure. Honestly couldn't say. Oh, is it this guy? Is it Alexander? Alexander, I think, might have died. Could be any of them. There's another one here as well. Ivan. Oh, it's close. It is really close. Right at the end. I mean, they're just still fighting so hard over these goddamn buildings. But the French sort of been forced back. I mean, they sort of have. They sort of haven't. Look at the mess going on around this place. Just an absolute mess. Need to get this unit out of square formation. It's doing no good being in square formation. Yeah, there you go. Just as I said it, they did it. It's like I'm a magician. Or a true commander. I don't know. Let's have a volley from the French. One last final volley because we've got like barely any time. Nope, they'd rather retreat. That's been the story of the game. You ask for like a volley, an aggressive push, and no, they'd rather just retreat. Sending in more troops here. They're really wanting this building now. The lifeguards still in there. 50 men left. And yeah, let's see what's going on over here. Well, it looks like the French will hold this building. At the moment, anyway. Though the Russians still making a lot of effort to try and retake it. They've got their lifeguard Krasias here. We've got some Jaegers now being charged by infantry. It's just a mess of like melee battles. Lifeguard Krasias just fighting in the street, being fired upon by all sorts of stuff.
Our men are running, sir.
This line battle is getting underway, finally. I'd certainly say that the French had a rough game. They have not made this easy for themselves. Not made it easy at all. And they're being attacked over here. What by? Oh, like an infantry unit, some Brandenburg Reserve light infantry. Yeah, they won't get in there. That Polish position is very much well held. French breaking a bit over here, though.
Our men are
Though Prussia's not looking so good themselves. And building has been lost. Who lost the building? They lost the building in the town here. So they are now back to it being 4-2. And now they really need to take this building in the center here. But it looks like they've been pushed out again. Now got some reserve musketeers in here and the guard unit. So yeah, I feel like the Allies are going to win this just off points. It's going to be, yeah, the French are almost routed anyway. This is their main force left. Most of their forces that were like pushing here. Look at the bodies strewn across there. And there you go, a draw. But I would certainly say that the coalition forces won that one. They had most of the building points at the end of the game. But yeah, this was suggested to me to have a look at by Antonov here. So well done to him. He was playing as one of the Italian armies. I think he was that left flank one that made a lot of pushes. We also well done to Private Pulowski here, to Garrick and to Bass Guitar, who were all playing as like the French forces along with Poland. And yeah, also well done to Dirty Mike, to Phone E, also to Black Dog and to Victor Rott, who are all playing as the Allied forces. And we'll have a quick look at Antonov's kills here. He got 300 kills with his line infantry unit. That did really, really well. His hussars here, 286 kills, 198 with his one of his line infantry. Some really good kills. I'm really surprised because the French had such a hard start. They kept getting pushed back, and just like they lost that big cavalry battle as well. But they managed to turn it around a little bit, but a little too late. They couldn't quite take the buildings. Maybe they should have just gone for wiping out like the Allied forces. I feel like certainly Sweden and like Russia, like this Russian army here, like were for the taking on that far flank. If like certainly maybe Antonov could have pushed it, I don't know. But he tried to go for the building instead. But yeah, anyway, well done to all the players. It was certainly a very, very fun one to watch, and thank you for suggesting it to me. And until next time, Legionnaires, I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.